America's population of black farmers has been shrinking for decades now as many face discrimination in getting loans to keep their farms up and running. The Biden administration, however, made a push to provide debt relief to farmers of color. But more than 2 years later, many of the intended recipients are still waiting for relief. So in tonight's Prime Focus, ABC's Rachel Scott takes a look at why black farmers aren't getting the help they need. It's the latest installment of her series, Through the Cracks.
In the rural town of Keysville, Georgia, the sun rises over this 600-acre stretch of land. It's planting season, typically the time to start tending to crops. But on this farm, nothing is operational.
We used to grow soybeans, corn, cotton before we was unable to farm. This is the devastation that has happened to most black farmers.
70-year-old Lucius Abrams spends most of his time looking at things he doesn't have the money to fix. A third-generation farmer who doesn't do much farming anymore.
The motor's gone out in that one over here. And the truck in the back there, the motor's gone out in it too.
Just about everything on this farm has something wrong with it.
I feel like I've been left on Gilligan Island.
Over the last 3 decades, Lucius says he has received letters from the federal government promising to wipe out his debt.
How much debt have you acquired over the years?
With the interest and everything, probably 1.2.
1.2 million?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have you received any assistance?
No.
Lucius is one of thousands of black farmers across the country who were promised debt relief from the federal government and say they still haven't received anything. Over the last century, black farmers have lost more than 12 million acres of land. In 1920, 14% of all farms were operated by black farmers. But by 2017, that figure had plummeted to 1.7%, just 0.5% of the country's 4.7 million acres of farmland. In 2021, Congress approved $4 billion in loan forgiveness for farmers of color and a program aimed to address historic discrimination by the USDA, which has acknowledged routinely denying loans to farmers of color. But it was stopped in its tracks, halted by a lawsuit from white farmers who claimed they were being excluded because of their race.
To be eligible for this debt relief, you had to be a minority. If you weren't a minority, you were excluded. Now, the problem I have, I'm all for helping minority farmers, all farmers. But our U.S. Constitution forbids discrimination, our government from discriminating against a citizen because of their race. You know, all citizens are equal before the law.
To avoid the legal fight, Democrats rewrote the plan, removing references to race and splitting the relief into 2 funds.
Look, it was what it was. We had a legal system now dominated by a lot of conservative jurists who would not let that program go forward, and we knew that would put more farmers in peril. And so it's on the USDA now to make sure that they're going to implement this in a way that eligible farmers get the resources they are owed.
Lawmakers like Senator Raphael Warnock, who have been pushing for relief, say time is running out for these farmers to get the money they were promised.
What more do you want to see from USDA?
I want to see USDA get the farmers the relief that we've passed through legislation. It is taking entirely too long. While folks are caught up in bureaucracy and processes, another planting season has come and gone.
My dad bought the property back in 1953, the same year I was born.
Meanwhile, farmers like Lucius have been left in limbo with staggering debt.
And the world is turning their head away. This is a moral issue. I mean, here we in America. You gonna let lawyers put a clause in there where we have no recourse? You let the president sign the order, the Senate, the Congress pass it, and we still can't get no justice?
It's not the first time black farmers were promised relief they didn't receive. In 1999, black farmers sued the USDA for discrimination and what became known as the Pigford cases. It resulted in a $1.2 billion settlement, But confusion around paperwork and deadlines led to thousands of claims being denied.
My name is Evelyn Bryant.
My name is Rod Bradshaw.
My name is Bernice Atchison. I live in Jefferson, Alabama.
Well, the Pickford lawsuit really didn't help because it only paid farmers $50,000.
We own 289 acres of land. We currently own 69 acres.
Bona fide black farmers never got paid, and I'm one of them that never got a dime out of that, and we're still waiting on money 20-some years later.
My Pickford case is still pending to this date.
More than 19,000 distressed farmers have received aid from the relief programs, but the USDA is not tracking loan recipients by race, making it difficult to see the impact.
Can the USDA commit to releasing information on who is getting this money by race?
I think we can agree that, yes, we recognize that there were enough disparities in loan performance among black and brown farmers that we needed to do something. And I'm convinced that race was a good metric by which to make those decisions. But we were sued.
Why not just put the data out there, be transparent, release it by race at some point?
We have decided to focus on following the mandate of the law. Right now, we're focused on implementing it and getting people back farming and participating in programs as fully as they can.
Dr. Dwayne Goldman oversees efforts to address racial disparities at the USDA and acknowledges the distrust.
Do you understand why some black farmers out there could be skeptical?
Absolutely. I've had conversations with Secretary Vilsack and my other colleagues across the department. In these positions, our task is to move forward as boldly as we can and make sure that we do the work that's required.
Bottom line, more work to do on that front.
A lot more work to do on that front, but some promising examples of progress that we're seeing now.
And here goes Senator Warden out on page to be here.
Soon after ABC News asked the USDA about Lucius's case, he did receive notice from the department that his debt had been forgiven, relief he's been waiting on for years.
What will that moment be like for you when you're back out here farming on this land?
Exciting, because I love to see things grow. I love to just smell the fresh dirt. This time of the year when you till the dirt, it's a feeling that you can't describe.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.